YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down? Welcome back to another video. It's Tuesday morning, and the 49ers still have no update on Christian McCaffrey, or at least haven't released any update on Christian McCaffrey's oblique injury. I was watching the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and Darius Butler mentioned how oblique injuries are different and they're weird because it affects everything in the core. We know how Christian McCaffrey is as a player. He runs so fiercely, so powerful with speed. He runs between the tackles. It's hard to tackle him. He'll run through you. He's such a physical running back, probably one of the most physical running backs in the NFL. That's no question. I think with knowing that and knowing how the 49ers use Christian McCaffrey in this offense, I genuinely don't think he suits up Monday against the Cleveland Browns, or excuse me, not against the Cleveland Browns, against the Minnesota Vikings. It's such a weird situation going on in San Francisco. I know I was watching the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and Adam Schefter basically mentioned how Christian McCaffrey is one of those players that he doesn't like his injury news getting out there. He likes to kind of be closed off, and he doesn't want people knowing the significance or the severity of his injuries. And that's probably true, right? I think the 49ers know probably a little bit more than everybody else does. Now, the thing is, I mean, after the game on Sunday, Christian McCaffrey was expected to be fine, and I still think that is the expectation. It doesn't seem like a significant injury that's going to keep him out more than 3 weeks, I don't think. I said yesterday I don't think he'll be out 2 weeks. I still stand by that. I think if the severity is not as bad as what people think, I think Christian McCaffrey could be out at max 2 games. And then obviously we have a bye week after these next 2 weeks, week 9. That'll be a much needed week for guys like McCaffrey and Trent Williams and Debo to get fully rested up. I know Dre Greenlaw obviously didn't play Sunday as well, so that's going to be big for San Francisco as well. Knowing Christian McCaffrey, I think everybody knows that he's one of them types of players that will try to suit up no matter how significant his injury is. But yeah, Adam Schefter said that he guesses Christian McCaffrey probably went and seen specialists to determine the severity and the significance of this injury. We'll see what happens. It's a weird situation. Typically, when players get MRIs days after, 24 hours after playing in a game where they got hurt, typically we know what the significance is of that injury, and it gets out pretty quick. With this Christian McCaffrey stuff, we don't know anything. So, again, I mean, I definitely think that, Christian McCaffrey will be fine in the long run. Like I said, I don't think this is an injury that's going to keep him out super long whatsoever. I'm guessing 2 games at max Christian McCaffrey is out for, because obviously I'm taking into account that bye week as well. My guess is that he's going to try to suit up Monday against Minnesota no matter what. He's probably going to try to suit up against the Cincinnati Bengals 2 weeks from now. I definitely think that McCaffrey would have a shot to play against the Cincinnati Bengals, especially with the extra rest day going into this Minnesota game. That's going to help out big time. I definitely know that the 49ers will look pretty different without Christian McCaffrey. They're definitely not as dangerous. They're not as slippery. And I don't think, Jordan Mason and Elijah Mitchell are anywhere near Christian McCaffrey when it comes to their ability in the passing game. We're not going to be the same offense without Christian McCaffrey. I definitely think we're still a great football team, of course. We're still, one of them teams that can win with or without Christian McCaffrey. It's definitely going to be hard. Christian McCaffrey is arguably, the best player on the 49ers when he is healthy. And another thing to note, too, is that Christian McCaffrey hasn't missed a game yet on the San Francisco 49ers since being traded from Carolina. He stayed fairly healthy, but when you run like Christian McCaffrey does, and how he's so physical with the ball in his hands, injuries are going to happen. It sucks. Hopefully, he recovers quickly. Again, we don't know anything about this injury yet. It's weird to me that we haven't had an update on his MRI yet, but it could be a situation like Adam Schefter said where McCaffrey knows the severity of the injury and he just probably doesn't want it to get out. Um, we will see if there's any update on this McCaffrey stuff today. They are still pending MRI results reportedly. Yeah, it's a weird situation. But obviously we know that Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason will take over if Christian McCaffrey misses time. Um, the system is very running back friendly. Jordan Mason played great on Sunday. He's played pretty much great all season. I think up until this point going into week 7, Jordan Mason has to be the number 2 running back in San Francisco. I would imagine Jordan Mason will probably be the number 2 running back going in to Minnesota, and then obviously with Elijah Mitchell backing him up. But yeah, it's interesting. It's a weird thing. Obviously, the hope is that McCaffrey doesn't have to miss any games, but I think it's trending more so that Christian McCaffrey doesn't play on Monday night. I really hope I'm wrong about that, but I think with an oblique and a core muscle injury like Darius Butler mentioned on the Pat McAfee show, that typically keeps guys out a couple weeks. And I mean, I've been saying it and I'll say it again. Knowing how Christian McCaffrey runs the ball, it's probably safe to keep him out at least one game. He's probably going to try to suit up, but there is optimism regarding the Christian McCaffrey stuff. So we will see and monitor this situation. Hopefully we get an update today on whether or not Christian McCaffrey will be out for Sunday's game or any more time past that. Other than that, nobody knows anything. It's Tuesday morning. I don't know if that's something to be worried about that we don't know it yet, or if it's just Christian McCaffrey not letting that news get out yet. But we will see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. As always, go Niners, and yeah, we hope McCaffrey will be fine moving forward. But we'll see what happens. Interesting situation.